The GoPro Motorrad Grand Prix Deutschland saw in total 65 crashes across the entire race weekend at the Sachsenring, with 11 in MotoGP, 22 in Moto2 and 32 in Moto3, with turn 4 and 13 causing the biggest problems, with 10 riders falling each. So let's take a look at some of them, starting with Team Suzuki X-Stars Aleix Espargaro having this small high side at turn 1 during MotoGP FP3. The Spaniard looking rather confused as he stares at his stricken GSX RR, and he said afterwards that the crash epitomised the team's struggle to find a good setup at the German track, as he had simply no idea why it happened. Up next for the crash that could prove vital in the Moto3 Championship battle, as Red Bull KTM's Miguel Oliveira, who won 2 of the last 3 races, experienced this wicked high side at turn 2. The Portuguese rider unfortunately got his left hand caught, and after going to the medical centre it was revealed he'd broken a bone in that hand, and he had to miss the rest of the race weekend and required surgery. Now once again over the course of the weekend, turn 11 managed to catch a number of riders out. This is because it's a fast right-hander after 3 left-handers, so it's hard to keep the right-hand side of the tyre warm. And in FP1 in MotoGP, Aprilia Racing Team Gresini's Alvaro Bautista would find out just how tricky that corner could be, as you can see here. He lost the front at over 200 kilometres per hour. And while the incident may look nasty, this is the reason why they have such a big runoff area there. And as you can see, luckily, the Spaniard managed to walk away unhurt. Now the most unlucky crash of the weekend has to be this. Franco Morbidelli taking out Tito Rabat at turn 13 in the very last corner of the Moto2 race while they were battling out for 3rd place. Rabat, who had broken his right collarbone in 5 places just a week before the race and had to have a plate put in, battled valiantly over the weekend to limit the damage to his championship defence hopes, but there was nothing he could do here as Morbidelli went in too hot in an effort to secure 3rd, leaving the Spaniard with nowhere to go. Rabat had to have a couple of screws taken out of his injured collarbone, and you could see him wincing there from the pain while Morbidelli walked away unhurt. Finally, there was this nasty looking crash in the Moto3 race between Ana Carrasco and Maria Herrera, once again at turn 13. Herrera on the Husqvarna factory Leglise machine lost the rear as she got on the gas, making contact with Carrasco before falling into a path and actually taking out a compatriot's front wheel with a helmet. Unfortunately, both riders sustained injuries, with Herrera dislocating her left shoulder, repeating her injury from earlier in the season, and Carrasco fracturing the humerus in her left arm with the latter needing surgery. So that's your crash analysis for the German GP, but luckily for the injured riders, they now have a month to recover before we do it all again at the Red Bull Indianapolis Grand Prix in the USA on the 9th of August.